There are lots of things that I wanted to talk about this week. I wanted to talk about how you can cut your emissions as an individual, about the Anthropocene, about the ozone layer and how the hole in the ozone layer has been healing up. Countless things that I'd love to talk to you about. But then, unfortunately, Tuesday happened, and now I can't really think of anything that I can talk about except for Donald Trump. There are many reasons I had this deep sinking feeling at the thought of this hate-filled man having one of the most powerful jobs in the world. And one of those reasons is climate change. Now, I'm not necessarily saying climate change is the most important, most worrying aspect of this. I don't know how you rank different worrying things, but it's certainly the worrying thing that I know the most about. And so I figured instead of doing a silly video about the ozone layer, which hopefully I'll still do at some point, I'd do a serious video about why I'm freaking out about Donald Trump. So I'll list 4 reasons that I think there are quite a few more actually, but 4 reasons that I'm particularly concerned about President Trump's potential impact on the climate. That's actually the first time I've said the words President Trump next to each other. Doesn't feel good. Okay, so reason 1, Donald Trump doesn't think that humans are causing global warming, and it's not even clear that he thinks the globe is warming. He's even tweeted to say he thinks climate change is a hoax created by the Chinese. It's not quite clear how or why the Chinese would have created this hoax. But to me, 2 things are clear. The first is that there's absolutely no doubt that the globe has been warming for quite some time. And number 2, it's virtually certain that that warming is being caused by humans. Okay, so that's my first big problem with Donald Trump on climate change, is that Donald Trump doesn't think the climate's changing. Okay, reason number 2, Donald Trump has described the EPA in America, which is the Environmental Protection Agency. He's called their work a disgrace. Just using that language about an organisation which is dedicated to protecting the environment is pretty worrying stuff. Okay, reason number 3, Donald Trump would like to get rid of government funding on clean energy, including research and development on things like wind, solar, electric cars. Okay, reason number 4, Donald Trump would cancel the Paris deal. Now, this last point number 4, is for me the most worrying thing. It's unclear whether Donald Trump could cancel the Paris deal. He could withdraw America from it, and at the very least he could completely ignore the Paris climate deal. The Paris deal needs at least 55 countries representing at least 55% of the world's emissions, and even without America taking part, it looks like the Paris deal would still stand. But without taking part, it's hard to see how the rest of the world would take the climate deal that seriously. America not taking part was one of the biggest problems with setting up the Paris deal in the first place, and a huge hurdle which Barack Obama managed to overcome. So to undermine all that hard work so quickly is a really terrifying thought. And it's worth bearing in mind that the Paris deal's not brilliant. It would take us to maybe 3 degrees of warming when a lot of people think we need to limit warming to 2 or 1.5 degrees total. But without the Paris deal, we're heading for, like 4 or 5 degrees of warming. These may just be numbers, but in the end, what they result in is human lives. The higher the temperature of the Earth gets, the more extreme weather we'll see, the higher sea levels will rise. This isn't just some hypothetical thing. This is what we can expect if the Paris deal isn't acted on. The Paris deal should be seen as a promising first step, but right now it's looking like it might not even be that. Okay, so I know this video is somewhat depressing, and I guess the obvious question is, what do we do about all this? I don't know, but I do know that what we can't do is just say, it's okay, because it isn't okay. We need to do everything that we have been doing much harder. We need to make our voices heard louder. We need to protest, we need to write to our elected politicians, we need to lower our own emissions, we need to talk about climate change more. We need to show now more than ever before how important the climate is to us and how important it is to every future generation after us. But not only that, but in this time of a lot of hate and uncertainty, we need to take extra care to show love and empathy to our friends, to our family, and to complete strangers. Thanks a lot for watching. I promise my next video will be slightly, if not very much more cheerful than this. But in the meantime, please do get in touch on Twitter at ClimateAdam or in the comments below to let me know any questions you have about the climate. I will try my best to answer. I might even make a video if your question is exciting enough. Anyway, in the meantime, check out a new video over here and subscribe down here for new videos. Thanks a lot. Bye.